All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for My Hero Academia, Season 3, Episode 16.
And we are getting into that Battle Royale action.
Yes, the test of the provisional license exam thing.
All that stuff.
Yes. Now, this one has a lot of people taking it.
Yep.
We know that there was a mess up in the subtitles with Suyu's math and all that.
It's 10%, not 1%.
Or it's less than a tenth, you know. But still, that's a very, very
small amount.
harsh type of test. Now, I think that's more the point, and we're not really supposed to think about as much as to like why they chose this type of test. It's more that this is just, it's a hard, we're trying to make it actually like difficult.
And in this case, they're forming up into groups and fighting each other, so it's not as much one-on-one battles as it is, you know,
team
school
v
on school.
team, or school versus school.
Or everyone versus UA as it is right now.
Right. Right. What I'm looking forward to is that they're going to show off some really cool quirks, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But they also have an opportunity to start developing the ensemble cast with kind of those characters that will be in future events as like connections. So say like Deku wants to become the greatest hero, right?
Sure.
Eventually he needs to mean something to the country of Japan.
Yeah, not just like the kids of UA or whatever.
Right, and he needs to be able to buddy with people from, you know, other schools.
People like Inasa.
Other
Shindo.
pro heroes, And maybe what UA needs to do with this whole thing of the culling of UA first is just prove, no, we're legit. There's a reason why we're the best hero school.
Right, yeah,
in the
and that's
country.
probably what's going to end up happening. Like, I mean, they could always subvert it, but...
Well, I think that it'll be like majority like that, but we will see probably some heroes in Class 1A bite the dust. I would say like a large portion of them will probably not make it. Well, this is also the provisional license exam.
No,
like if you fail this, it's not like you're never going to be a hero or something.
Yeah.
But hey, like we could see some really cool applications of quirks that haven't really been utilized as much. And that sounds pretty awesome. Other than that, looking forward to getting to meet these new characters some more and seeing what they can do. But yeah, guys, without further ado, let's get into this. Instead of having it be a flashback thing in the beginning.
Right.
Okay, see, like that quirk, like whatever that quirk is.
Yeah, some sort of like mass stasis, that's
telekinesis even, like nan only nan. Also, montages of like one of our favorite characters just being badass, that would be pretty cool. Like Bakugo being a one-man army would be pretty legit.
Oh yeah, just flying through the skies.
Yep. Todoroki as well. Also, with the whole Inasa character having a higher score there. I love that costume as well.
Yeah.
And you notice how he like swept his hand and there was a gust of wind? What if he's an airbender? Like a master airbender.
Sure.
Like, that's terrifying.
Oh yeah.
And it would be another like Battle of the Elements, like Avatar reference kind of thing. See, this is my favorite part in the opening right here. This, like that little bit.
Because it's an expression we have not seen from Bakugo like ever.
Well, it's something we've probably seen like brief snippets of, but it immediately gets switched back into like regular Bakugo mode.
I just find it hilarious that Invisible Girl's at the front.
Yeah. And then she does like a Jotaro point. Yeah. Whoa, wait.
Yeah, that was a lot of acid.
Well, no, she was controlling it outside of her body.
I think she might have just been like spraying it like a hose kind of a thing.
Sure.
ねえレイザーこの第一次選考先着順ってことで攻めたもん勝ちな印象を受けるけどこれ違うね違くない？
ああ団結と連携そして情報力が鍵に
やはりこんなものでは遊泳の人はやられないな
けどまあ見えてきた
Oh. Stiffening.
Okay.
Instead of softening.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Oh.
Oh.
Homing.
Wait.
Boomerang crescent moon trajectory. What?
Whoa.
Nice.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea whether or not there was some rules about where they had them placed.
No, they said they could do it anywhere as long as it's not in the armpits or like any place that's like naturally hidden.
Oh, all right.
Wonderful.
So he just makes an earthquake. Holy crap.
Wow.
Holy crap. Ah, gotcha. Yep, wind, here we go.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Holy crap. Wow.
Passion.
Wow. What if any of the bolts accidentally hit him while he's having them in the tornado, though? That could be bad.
If you think that, like, that was gonna happen.
Well, no, but I mean, they could have done that if they wanted to do something funny. Yeah, that's...
120 people!
Okay.
Oh my gosh!
Okay, that's just ridiculous.
Whoa!
Uh-oh.
Oh! Oh, this is the cute girl.
ダメですよ。みんなを呼ぼうにも声出してたらタコに狙われちゃう。そんな遠くへは離れてないはず。ただ1を避けるためにまずはみんなと合流。
Cool. Uraraka focus. Awesome.
慎重に。せっかく強豪校との交流のチャンスだし、あなたたち
Okay.
Okay, why are you talking about all this so
Right,
much?
right, exactly.
Yeah, you sure talk a lot. Seriously.
すぐに傑物学院やタコが束になってやってくる。悠長に話してる場合じゃない。またいない。
Whoa, she's got some kind of.
ボールで殴ればいいじゃんね。
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
But yeah, I'm glad that she's thinking about that, because, like...
What is her quirk? Holy crap.
では技術。相手の目と耳から私の存在を
Oh, that's so cool.
Okay. Okay.
何も考えず潜み紛れる。
Wait, that's like straight up Hunter x Hunter.
止血ではそんなことも。
あなたはなんでヒーローを志してる？名誉？誇り？誰のため？
This is actually a little bit creepy. Like. Who's that?
誰とも合流できず大勢に狙われる。さっき考えてた
Spider.
戦略を実現して
What
し
the
まった
heck? Why you just run or something? Oh.
気をつけろ。
Okay.
Holy crap. What the heck?
僕がもらうね。待てよ。
人を助けるにはまず自分が無事でいなきゃ。
Wait.
Whoa.
All right.
Whoa. Whoa. And he's doing the.
Just use your quirk on Deku and you'll be able to get away much easier.
Right.
仮年試験ではね。
ワン・フォー・オールの 100% は使わな
Gotcha.
い。
Gotcha.
でもその代わりにこのアイアンソウルは強い衝撃を与えた瞬間つま先がバネの動きで飛び出る瞬間逃撃
Oh.
足の引きを補強してくれるサポートアイテム
Okay.
Whoa.
All right. Cool.
That's legit.
Yeah, that's straight up like machine gun stuff.
Like,
諦めたの
Maybe someone has a quirk like that. Who
あり
knows?
がとう
ah!
ごめんね下手こいた
いや別にそんな
I had a feeling.
Holy crap!
I had a feeling.
Holy crap!
Yep. Yep.
What
That's
the
why she
heck?
wasn't using her quirk or saying anything or. Yep. Yep. I had a
先
feeling.
生は訓練をして
Yep. And you didn't use it
近い
once.
時間なら副作用を気にせず自身へ使えるようになっているなのに危ない目にあっても発動の素振りすらなく何よりも無策のまま敵前に姿を現すなんてそんなの僕の知っている浦中さんじゃない
に利用しようとしていたの
そこまで頭を回ってません
The
Yeah,
one that's
but-
been
誰
like,
でも助けるの思って線を引
oh my.
いや服はなんで裸着てください
やることやったらね
なんだよもう
Okay, this is not. This is something else.
All right.
What's with this enviable situation he's in? Whoa! Nice.
But Uraraka should have some ammo right about now.
うららかお茶子さん
What?
でも信頼されてるね
How does she know
Uh huh.
the full name? I guess they're popular. Stop, you molester! Yes, seriously.
個性の関係だろうか服ごとターゲットを脱いでる
She might actually be cheating. Yeah.
Yeah.
何言ってんだ緑谷
実はさっきの人うららかさんそっくりに変身してて
裸だったのか緑谷
そこちゃんとコスチューム着てたから
Okay.
間に合ってよかった
ありがとう
とりあえず3人だね
3 for now is pretty good.
Yeah.
と合流してとこ
通過者50人ああ53名
Wow, it didn't actually just turn to ash.
What the
Oh.
heck?
轟くんだって
All right.
しかし一人で行動するなんて助かる探す手間が省けた
Yep.
かっこいいね
Oh, you have no idea just how cool he is.
Yep.
本当に体育祭見てた
Are you
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
you guys?
もちろん見てたよ
Oh, that's cool.
熱に強いタングステンを使ってるわけ
That's true. It's really dense too.
言ったっしょ轟くん単独で動くなんて余裕ありすぎだっての
Nice. All right.
Okay.
Cool. And awkward animation incoming.
Not just yet, though.
Not just yet. So
So
that was creepy. Like,
Yeah.
first off, she goes and she like holds him down and like kind of straddles him.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna go out on a stretch here and say like she's not even like interested in the exam. Like
Right.
because once she got one hit in, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like she could be
Yeah.
a real threat here.
Right.
And she has some kind of potential like technique that might not even be related to her quirk at all.
Right.
You know, about trying to avoid perception and such, and then hiding, which is like awesome.
Right.
But
Well,
but
and here's the other thing. So, being able to impersonate somebody, that means we have we don't necessarily know who she is. Even though we saw her in her naked form or whatever,
Yeah.
that might have been her just using her quirk again.
Yeah.
Potentially. Like,
True.
it could have been. So,
well, basically, whenever you have any kind of quirk that tricks your perception of something, you can't trust anything around that person.
okay.
Okay.
So-
okay. So there was a lot of really cool action, a
Yes.
lot of unnecessary flashbacks, I would say.
Yeah, it
Like-
did seem to be like a little bit padding for time.
There's a couple tricks that you'll see shows like this do. Or they'll do the, why am I remembering this now?
Right.
And it's basically a way to add dramatic emphasis towards a specific event. But the thing is, the flashbacks have to actually line up in a way that makes sense for the scene that's relevant in the present.
Yeah.
And also, when you go on with the flashbacks beyond a certain amount of time, you start to show your hand to the audience a bit too much. That it's more about extending the length of a scene rather than actually adding dramatic
Especially
context.
when it's something that we've seen very, very recently.
Very recently.
Like, I think some of the flashbacks were even from that episode.
Well, there was stuff that was kind of recap in the beginning.
No, but like, this is what it was. Reshowing the powers of Shindo and
Inasa.
Mm-hmm. Like, that was like, okay.
Yeah, we get it.
And I guess that might have been something of basically trying to prime the audience for the fact that Uraraka wasn't actually Uraraka. And that's sort of the best explanation I can think of, but it still has the fact that they're having the main character do flashbacks in a high intensity moment where action needs to be taken right this minute, right?
Right.
So it, like, I would be fine with Deku having that kind of conversation with himself and just sort of thinking about those things when he's not in the middle of a conflict.
Right.
Because that totally makes sense.
Or have it be a thing where he is thinking about it, but we actually see new animation, new visuals as he's thinking about it, interspersed between the flashbacks.
Sure.
So that it's actually feels like something is happening. Or otherwise it just feels like the episode's kind of stalling. Now, the episode had some really crazy things that happened later on. Now, once Uraraka was rescued, quote unquote, Uraraka was rescued by Deku, they did a good job of making me like, Uraraka's kind of just
just sort of there. Like, why isn't she doing something or other?
And Deku picking up on it and calling out specifically like, yes, Uraraka has trained with her quirk to where she can now use it on herself with almost no drawback.
Right. Exactly.
And it's why did you not do that? So once we've kind of established this new character here, now do we know the name of this girl? Because I don't think we do.
And she looked really similar to the person that initially attacked Deku that had the averting the gaze quirk or whatever.
Oh, it's the same. It's the same.
Oh, the same?
It's the same. It's 100% the same.
Okay, because it looked like identical character design and all that stuff. But the thing is, that looks like two different quirks, because then unless it has something else.
It's not a quirk. That was my point I was trying to make, was that the hiding that she was doing in the beginning is not a quirk. She was basically saying, no, I wasn't using my quirk. Did you think my quirk is making me disappear? That's why she said that.
Oh.
She's like, that's just a technique. That's just something I've trained. And he's like, you learned how to do that at that school?
Which
gotcha. Basically, like, this is like some ninja stuff. Like, this is the kind of thing where, like,
that's
assassin training. So, like, I'm putting this out there, guys. There is a very real possibility that she is also not
even a student.
Not even a student.
Right.
Like, she's like a villain.
Because here's the thing.
Not even like a hero.
For one, that would just be straight up cheating of the fact on the test, as far as the test is concerned, because she doesn't have the things anywhere.
Yeah, she transmogrified her suit
exactly
into some goo.
Yeah, maybe she made it look like she had them at the start, but she didn't have them at the end, and maybe that would be enough to sort of like cheat past, because she could transform back into something where it looks like the things are there, but then she'd probably have to take them off and return them, and then how does that work?
Right. So at best, she's cheating.
Right.
As we go along the lines a little bit more, it gets a little bit worse.
Right.
She's cheating, and she has see, I think the whole I hate when they did that molester, like throwing that word around there as a joke is kind of a little bit just like, okay,
right,
whatever. But the thing that kind of annoyed me was that, okay, so they're thinking like that's just her personality, but not calling into question like that's like unhero-like. That's the kind of thing that you kind of get from people where it's like, okay, I get
sure.
I get potentially that maybe they could think, well,
not all heroes are heroic, kind of a thing.
Yeah, exactly. We have Endeavor to, case in point. But also, she was trying to, take Deku out of the match, but he was on his stomach and he wasn't, he wasn't giving her access to the other points on his torso.
That's a great point. Yeah.
But once she shifted into Uraraka, that's when you know things were, I don't know,
right,
just
and
a little bit
it still
off.
seemed like she was trying to take him out of the match because you know of all that stuff.
But she
like,
kept saying like she wanted to talk to you. I wanted to be around you,
and
stuff. That's the yandere stuff.
Right, that's the stuff that reminds me of Toga.
Yeah.
You know, and okay. Now here's the thing. This might be crazy. Now, this is something
that's a good point,
because
that's a very good point.
Some of Uraraka's blood.
She got some of Uraraka's blood.
So because one of the questions is how.
Oh my gosh.
You know, so if this was Toga,
Jacob.
I mean, that would explain a lot. Like,
no, I think you're like dead on the money.
And here's the thing.
Like, think about it.
Well, it would be fantastic.
Think about it in meta ways. This is a clever way to reintroduce the League of Villains.
Exactly, yeah. And introduce it in a way that is inherently different from how they've been so far, and to basically develop more of the personal connection between the villains and the heroes, so that when they come into conflict, it means more than just,
right,
you're this person with this quirk and you're in the way and we need to beat you somehow. What?
If this girl is Toga, in the previous episode, when Inasa bowed and slammed his head, she looked at his forehead and was like, "Ooh, blood."
Oh yeah.
Oh my
gosh. 3 persons worth of blood. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like guys. Okay. Now I kind of understand. Because she had the creepy obsession with Deku back then as well.
Exactly, because this is the thing.
And that's why she would want to be Uraraka also around Deku to see if she could utilize their connection that she sensed from Uraraka.
Yeah, because she did pick up on that. And because here's the thing. It could be that that's not the case, but I would like to think that this is the case because
I think it redeems this thing because I don't think this as a story.
I don't like the idea of
idea.
I don't like the idea of all the other side female characters that are brought in randomly falling over a character for one just because, but 80% of the time it's the main character, right? It's like,
or also just being that kind of femme fatale character for just the sexy fan service value.
Right. Like
I think MHA is somewhat. I think
characters.
MHA is somewhat better than that. So if it's Toga, then it's just like, perfect.
Right, exactly.
We were like basically on the money with guessing what her quirk would be back earlier, and this would be basically just proof that this is
right. Oh yeah,
and
and this was the thing. She said something very specific when she was introduced. She said, "What was it? When you love someone or something, it's natural that you want to not like." I don't think she said become like them. I think she said become them.
Well, Jacob, are you talking about Toga or are you talking about this girl?
Toga.
Oh well, yeah. I already analyzed Toga a long time ago. There was basically this thing that she had an obsession with, which was basically becoming
Stain.
Well, Stain, yes, but she mentioned like that as well, basically. So yeah, it makes sense that her quirk is something along the lines of utilizing blood on like a DNA level to give her some kind of like either
some sort of shape-shifting
kind of shape-shifting kind of thing, or some kind of like morphing whatever.
And
the scary thing about the quirk is that there are ways in which it has no limits. Like she could potentially even have the quirk of the person, but I think because the quirk of Uraraka's wasn't used, then it's that's the limitations. It's basically it's just the form, and then there's probably some other
here's the other question. So does the blood end up getting used up, or once she gets the blood of someone, can she just turn into them whenever she wants forever?
She cared about the quantity when she got when she got Uraraka's and stuff. I think she mentioned that she got a certain number of people's worth.
Right.
Now, here's a way
I think they said 3.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I don't remember if there was an apostrophe used in that people's bit. But here's the thing that's kind of clever. Is it 3 different people's worth or 3 transformations worth?
Sure.
Because as far as we could tell, it looked like she only got Uraraka's, right? She cut Tsuyu's tongue, but the
sure.
blood from that didn't go into the canisters.
Right, and the fact is that when she killed people, she drained them of blood completely, so that denotes that there's a quantity aspect to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that would certainly make this way more interesting, because then it's the whole question of like, okay, where is she? And the whole thing of like Inasa's forehead bleeding and all that stuff. It's like, oh wow, yeah, they could do all kinds of things.
The other thing is that why is she here?
Right.
Like, if this is Toga, like, is she on a mission?
It could just be to collect blood.
It could be just to collect blood, and if literally like, that's all it is, I'm okay with it, because she might be pissed that like I didn't get enough blood. I was trying to get some of Deku's blood, or I was trying to get like at least like half a dozen like different people's blood or what have you. I'm just like, I just got the pink girl, you know? But then they hear about this thing going on.
And they're like, oh, this is great.
Oh, this is perfect.
Yep.
1,500 people. Oh, yeah, we can sneak in literally anyone.
Right.
And then Toga's like, pick me. I'm perfect for this.
And here's the other thing. This could be something that she's doing on behalf of the League of Villains. It could also be something that she's just doing on her own time.
Yep.
And that makes a character more interesting because it's taking initiative, right?
Yep.
So if this is Toga,
I'm just gonna it is.
Like,
it is.
Yeah.
Like I really think that this episode had so many little problems here and there in terms of like execution, and specifically around the way kind of this girl was kind of brought into the story, that if it's not Toga, I would be like genuinely upset.
Right, because
I would be actually like kind of like
because the importance that they seemed to put on some of the things in this episode did not seem to match up with what the importance should be, considering what the narrative is done up till this point, right?
Sure.
With what's like immediately like obvious or whatever.
Right.
So
yeah, the main thing that this episode I think was meant to do was to showcase that the people in other schools are really strong.
Right.
Like, there are people like Inasa that can one-shot over 100 people in one blast of, a tornado.
Yep.
But also, that's the other thing, is thinking about quirks, is we often think about the quirks as being physical abilities like Kirishima, where it's just like, I get hard skin and stuff like that. But then there's these people that just got a really nice nat 20 on the DNA thing, and just came out with like god level airbending abilities.
Yeah.
And it's like,
good job calling that, by the way.
I mean, like, it was pretty obvious when he swept the wind and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't think it would be that strong necessarily. I just thought it would be like, he's maybe like really skilled with it. Like, he's got, just...
Oh, he hard counters Uraraka.
He hard counters a lot of Class 1A.
Right, but...
because he just keeps you away from him.
He doesn't hard counter Bakugo.
Ah, that's true. Bakugo could do some damage to an airbender.
Because, like, as the great Azula once said, don't you know...
Fans just make flames stronger.
Yeah.
Well, in that way, Todoroki's fire will do a pretty decent job, too.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. I mean, he might be so strong at airbending, though,
that he could, blow it out?
Well, no, that he could basically, create a vacuum around it as
sure,
well.
Or just conflagrate the flames so that they come back towards, someone else,
Sure, then it's just a matter of concussive force at that point,
Or maybe they'd be the perfect combo, because then you've got a fire tornado.
Whoa, yes, what? Forget about who they're against and stuff. Inasa plus Todoroki is disgusting. That's almost the Avatar. All we need then is Shindo. Mr. Tremors.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. And if you had Uraraka with them, then they could be flying around with the tornado.
And that's the Avatar state.
Yeah, that's the Avatar state.
The Avatar state.
And then just napalming the entire earth underneath them. Just
see, this is why the superhero stuff is good, is because we know that some of these combinations, or at least most of these combinations, they're never going to happen.
Right.
But it's fun to think about what would happen if these heroes ended up teaming up, because that's the point. This exam and stuff, it's important in the moment.
Sure.
But in the grand scheme of the story, it's just the next kind of test they have to do.
And the funny thing is that a combination like, say, Todoroki and Inasa is so busted, is so busted that it almost can never happen. Because if they were in, like, say, the same D&D group, right?
Right.
They would just use that all the time. You know, when all you have is a hammer, all life's problems become nails.
Yeah.
Like,
and then you have poor people like Sero and Kirishima who are just like, we're important too.
yeah.
See, that's the thing. I think that MHA doesn't care too much about balance. And I think
Right.
that that's okay. I think that that's fine.
It certainly
because
makes for some great story opportunities.
it does. I really do think, though, that by having characters that just exist like this, it keeps the wonder in our minds strong because we're thinking, like, anything can be a quirk. Like, literally, like, anything.
Although I have to say, that guy that can make things bigger, that is also busted.
That is really
also
busted.
busted because why is he only throwing one thing at once?
Yeah.
Why not just take, like
Probably because he can only turn one thing bigger at once.
Sure.
Yeah.
But also, here's the other thing. What if he... Is there a size limit? If he turned
Probably.
something that was already bigger.
Well, then he wouldn't be able to throw it. It's a thing of the
Sure.
speed. So I think the scary thing about him was he was being really smart in that he was throwing things that were aerodynamic enough that he could get them moving at high speeds. But if he threw something like
Well, yeah, it's the whole idea of the tungsten rod. If it was dropped from like high orbit, you know, it would have like the
destroy a city, you know,
like, or more, like way more than nukes, you know.
Yeah, there's some pretty weird weapons out there, guys.
Yeah.
It's not really cool to think about because it's like, oh, people think
That's
like
scary.
that. But then you have in MHA and stuff, we casually have these people that are like, oh yeah, I designed this thing specifically due to the maximum amount of force and impact because the density of this small thing expanded in its mass, which I'm guessing it's not a hollow thing. He's actually making the mass bigger, you know, the weight.
Here's something I really want to see in one of the next episodes. I get that we didn't see anything from Uraraka really this episode because it was a...
But we will in the
duplicate.
next one.
Right. But we will in the next one, and someone very conveniently broke up the ground. So
Yes.
I want to see some like god level Uraraka stuff where she's just like, and boom.
Well, that's the thing. I think that they've made unfortunately kind of a thing that won't happen in this as much because they're not trying to kill them, Jacob.
Yes,
they're trying to hit them with their balls.
Well, although yes. But I will say, that in the Todoroki versus the enlarging guy, tungsten is
a
dense.
tungsten nail being thrown at high speeds.
A tungsten anything thrown at high speeds and then
at
zoomed
that size,
at that mass,
could kill someone.
Will kill someone if it hits them.
Yeah.
Like
well, they could be paralyzed for life too.
Sure.
Their way of life would end forever if it hit them.
Like the amount that one of those things would weigh would be ridiculous.
Like, so maybe on some level also then, you know, they're going to pit strong people against strong people so that the threat of death doesn't happen as much.
Sure.
But I would like to see it brought up at some point that if Uraraka is like thinking like, oh, I can manipulate the environment and stuff, I'm gonna get some ammo.
Right.
And just throw it up into the sky again and just have it kind of there. Maybe here's what the crazy thing could be. Sero is with them, right? She makes light some really big like rock stuff. Sero tapes them and just throws them around. And that would be legit.
And it's the question of, again, because with Uraraka's quirk, it's kind of unclear how the mass thing works, like to actually move the things.
Well, when she releases it, I think the mass, whatever it is back to being relevant.
Yeah.
So.
But one of the questions that I had is when she was wondering, okay, how do I find people? Now that could have been the copy at that point, but I don't think so. I think that was just clever, like cutting.
That was clever editing.
Episode.
Yeah.
She could have just like touched her big rock and just let it start floating. That way everyone knows, okay, Uraraka's here. You know, now that might have drawn other people too, but because
good point.
The people saw the sports festival, so they know what quirk she has.
Well, also, I think another thing is if you have 1,540 people out there, they all have quirks.
Yeah.
You can basically know to expect the unexpected. Right. And if you see a rock floating up there, you're like, that could be Uraraka. Or that could literally be anyone else with a quirk similar to that.
Right.
So it doesn't really tell me enough to go there. I think the big thing, though, we got out of this episode is that like I'm 98% sure that's Toga.
Yeah,
I'm
like-
pretty
like-
certain that even if she's not there on orders or whatever, she is doing this because it's her thing,
Right.
And that's extra
And-
creepy
right.
because then here's the other thing, like she's probably gone to like other places and gotten more blood since then.
Oh,
Because
sure.
at the very least, this girl that she's probably posing as is a real person.
What if she just robbed a blood bank? Like,
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
She could infiltrate a blood bank if she just got some of the blood of one of the people that works there, right?
Yeah.
Goes in and is like, cool, okay, floor to ceiling blood packets. All right. Well, let's
Christmas Day.
let's take
Another
these
one.
to the bathroom because this is a lot of fluid, you know, like. But like,
But yeah. All right. Well, I am looking
yeah.
forward to specific characters getting the spotlight. I like that we have kind of this rotating thing around Deku, where they'll bring in a couple characters and just pair them with Deku. And
sure.
then those characters get upgraded a little bit in the spotlight. They happened with Tokoyami in the cavalry battles. It happened with who was the other one later in the second season? Yeah, I don't remember
yeah, but
exactly,
just like the fact that you're
just
bringing
doing that.
Sero up here,
Yeah, it's
along
like,
with
okay, cool.
Uraraka.
Sero and Uraraka, I have
Yep.
literally no attachment to Sero because he has no character really
Right.
at this point.
Yeah.
But if they decide, no, we're going to give him some character here, we're going to give him some cool moments, and then we're going to utilize some of the build-up that we've been doing for this Deku Uraraka thing that's going on and have them spend
that
some
would be
time
pretty
together.
cool.
I'm not
Like-
going to say that's a
Like,
bad
yeah,
thing.
I feel like this episode was a lot of things where I hope in the I am really hoping in the future that it goes certain ways, like us getting Deku and Uraraka time, the girl being Toga, because not that they have to do that, but it's too good of an opportunity to pass up.
Right.
You know, so yeah.
Right. And I think also Inasa, just the reveal of the power of his quirk and stuff, I'm like, okay, the reason why they're doing that, I think, because it's rule of cool, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think the reason story-wise they're doing that is that now anyone who we know in Class 1A who's got kind of something to prove, like Bakugo,
Sure.
would make it would be a really cool thing to have them meet someone else out there that's like, oh no, you have to really work hard because there's people like Inasa out
Right,
there
where it's just
that
like-
are just like,
Yeah.
oh, are you supposed to be a problem? Woo, and you're
Right.
just you're gone.
And one of the things that I really want to see now is, since they've done the rule of cool moment for Inasa, I want to see why exactly he decided to not go to UA
yes,
after all.
he is
when
obviously
loved
an
it so
important
much.
story character.
Yep.
Because he's the only one of the newly introduced characters that has a contradiction to him
That was introduced like right at the very beginning.
Yes, Shindo's contradiction that is that he's not super nice, basically.
Right. And that's a fun contradiction as far as plot goes.
But
and,
it ties to nothing else.
right. It doesn't make us curious about the
reason
character.
why.
Right. The reason why. It's more of just wanting to see what they'll do, which is a decent place to start.
Cool. Yeah.
But yeah.
And he had a great quirk too. I think the more vague the quirk is, the more like powerful it is.
Sure.
Having just the ability to vibrate objects. Whoa.
Right. As long as they're inanimate. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But like he could touch a building and just demolish it.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
like not just demolish it, like disassemble it. It's
Well, yeah,
it's
it
a
just
low
suddenly collapses.
Right,
yeah.
it's a low level version of Shigaraki. Like that's a way to
Right.
think about it.
Uh-huh.
And yet it's probably also a more like powerful range.
Yes,
element
definitely
of
more
it.
powerful range. And then, but then there'd be things like if he's ever in water, then he's screwed, He might be able to do like sonar type stuff maybe, but you
want to hear something crazy?
What?
If he can control the vibration thing well enough,
Uh-huh.
in water he would be able to shoot like a rocket through the water.
Okay, that's true. He could simulate basically a like an explosion. Like if you drop stick a
Just
dynamite,
vibrate on your feet and like the back of your legs.
right? Because then it would
just
have
go.
direct transference to anyone or anything else that is in the water, even if it might not be as strong as say using it on concrete.
Right. As far as his quirk goes, I think it's cool that he did a massive earthquake thing and stuff like that. I know that the reason why his quirk isn't as multi-purpose as the way I'm envisioning it to be is because his weakness is that once he uses it, there's an aftershock that goes back into his body to where he can't move. But we don't know if the reason that is because his muscles are all taut and it's basically holding him in place, or if he actually just lost the strength to move. I'm thinking it's the first one.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, then he would be fantastic in water. He would have a very real possibility of drowning, but But if he had gear specifically for being in water,
that was proofed for, like, that was not especially
just scuba gear,
fragile.
No, because he vibrates on a certain part of his body where the gear is not, and then he I'm just thinking of clever ways to do this and stuff.
Yep.
But looking forward to Inasa character stuff. They brought up his whole thing as, you know, in a Deku flashback that didn't make sense, basically telling us, yes, it's important, but I do want to say that while we love this show and stuff, it is not above our criticism, guys, here and there. So
we will hold it to the high standard that we know it can achieve.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you want to see the full length version of MHA episodes, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. We don't have early access there because we're watching these week by week. But if you do any kind of Patreon support, you can check out our Discord where you can chat with us when we watch the episodes, and week by week, like kind of be like, we're watching MHA together. It's pretty cool. And if that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.